My name is Tunde Jacobs and you're welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be looking at how to use completing the square method to solve questions from quadratic equations. So this is majorly for those of you that want to write your WAEC, NECO, NAPTEB exams and also SS1, 2 and 3 students for their internal exams. Now we are going to be looking at this example. It says we have to use completing the square method to solve x squared plus 4x minus 21. Now, from this equation, the first rule you need to check is that your coefficient of x squared must be 1. And looking at the question we are having here, coefficient of x squared is already 1. Coefficient of x is what? 4. Y is a value minus 21. So therefore, we can proceed further. I am going to be solving another example where our coefficient of x squared is not 1, but that will be in the second example. Now we go to step 2. Step 2 is to take the value that is standing alone. For example, look at here, we're having x here, we're having x here, but this is not having x. So take this value to the right hand side of the equation. This value, which is 21, is having a sign of, is having a negative sign. So if I take it to this side, it becomes a positive sign. So therefore, I'm going to have x squared plus 4x equals to 0 plus 21, which is 21. Now the next step again. I am going to look for a value that will make this equation on the left hand side to become a perfect square. How do I do that? You look at the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x in this equation is 4. Now please, coefficient of x is different from coefficient of x squared. Coefficient of x squared is 1, while coefficient of x is 4. So I am going to look for the coefficient of x, which is 4. I am going to find half of that value, square the value, and add this to the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the equation. So let's do that, please. So we have coefficient of x, which is 4, divided by 2. This is going to give us what? 2. Square this value. 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, is going to give us what? 4. So therefore, I'm going to add this 4 to both sides of the equation. We say add 4 to LHS and RHS of the equation. So I'm adding 4 to both sides. So we are going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals to 21 plus 4. So as you can see, 4 is that value that will be added to this equation that will make this equation a complete square. Now we have this and we have that. So I'm going to have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals to 21 plus 4, that's 25. Now I've been able to get this. Now we go to the next step. Now the next step here is to factorize the left-hand side. Factorize the LHS. Now where is the LHS? That is x squared plus 4x plus 4. Now please notice this. Factorizing this, I've seen a lot of students used to have problem factorizing this. Now factorizing this is very simple. Why? Because the equation is a complete square. Now you notice that the plus 4 that we added to this one was gotten from the value at the center. That's the value that is having coefficient of x, which is this 4. So factorizing this, we are only going to focus on this one and this last one here. We ignore this one. Now look at x squared and 4. They are both perfect squares. What do I mean by perfect square? It means that we can find the square root of each of them. Now you write down the square root of x squared. Square root of x squared is what? X. That is what numbers do you multiply to give you x squared? That's x times x to give you x squared. So I'm picking only x. Now we are having plus and plus. So I'm picking a plus sign. If we were to be having a plus and negative sign, you pick the negative sign. So we have x plus. Now come to the last number, which is 4. What's square root of 4? That's 2. Put 2 here. Close your bracket and put your square. So that means I have factorized this equation equals to 25. Now the next step is this. Don't forget our aim is to get x. So now the next thing we do is to have our x plus 2. We take this square to this side to become plus or minus square root of 25. Please, if you're enjoying the class, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. So we now have our x plus 2 will be equal to plus or minus square root of 25. We know that 25 is a perfect square, that is, it has a square root. Square root of 25 is what? That's 5. So we are going to have plus or minus 5. Now we are looking for x. So we take this 2 to the other side of the equation. So that will be x equals 2. Please, as this 2 is coming here, this 2 is not coming to stand in front of 5. It's going to stand behind these signs that 5 is having. Why? Because we are having a double sign. Okay? So what sign is 2 having here? Plus. If it gets here, it becomes what? Minus. So it's going to become minus 2 plus or minus 5. Therefore, I split this into 2. My x is equals to minus 2, you pick the plus first, plus 5, or minus 2, you pick this negative sign, minus 5. So we are going to have x equals to minus 2 plus 5 is, that will give us 3, or minus 2 minus 5 is minus 7. Okay, so these are my values of x, which are the root of this equation. Now, the reason why we are having two values of x is because in our equation, the highest power of x is having what? 2. So therefore, you must get two values of x, which is the positive 3 and a negative 7. Okay, so this is how to use completing the square method to solve a quadratic equation. So in our next example, we are going to be looking at a number where the quotient of x squared is not 1. So we are going to be looking at how to solve that. Please, if you have any question, drop your question in the comment section. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share while waiting for the second example. Thank you.